folks, welcome to the channel, Rockin' the Country. I'm Don. I've got a request of George Jones, Someday My Day Will Come. I don't know what the song is going to be. I don't think I know this song. I didn't grow up on country. I started getting into country, probably about 15 years ago, but it was mostly Nashville country, and it was a mixture. I was going back and forth between rock, which was my favorite, and country, but I also listened to a lot of seminars. So like on human memory, on history, on theology, on philosophy, on particle physics. I listened to seminars on a lot of topics. And on grammar, of course, psychology, sociology, these sorts of things. So I wasn't listening to a lot of country then, and I was not listening to what I primarily react to now, which is traditional country. And I listen to Western and folk and bluegrass and Cajun, and I react to those on the channel as well. It just can't be pop. But I don't think I know this song. I didn't grow up on George Jones. It came much later after I started the channel. And George Woodruff, who is arguably George Jones's worldwide biggest fan, I haven't decided that yet. But you're pretty darn close, George. I got to tell you, you're making a strong push for this. I may have more work to do because with Renee Mooberry, I got to get Dwight Yoakam to personally acknowledge her as well as possibly Leanne Rimes. Either one, if I were to pull either one of those artists off acknowledging Renee, it'd be a huge deal. George Jones, I obviously cannot verify, but I don't know. There may be some fun ways of, determining certain aspects of it. But all that said, thank you for the gift and the request for me to do this one, George. All right. And when I do reactions to George Jones that George Woodruff made a request for, I just refer to George Woodruff as GW, so it doesn't get confusing. So, someday my day will come. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Here we go.
Greatest country singer in the world.
Well, what we're going to do now is bring you an encore by George Jones and Charlie McLean and T.G. Shepherd. It makes for good music on Pop Goes the Country. And now, here's George Jones.
Pop goes the country, but it's not pop.
Someday my day will come
Balladeer,
when
man.
I won't need a thing at all. I can stand proud and tall, and then say just how I feel. Someday my day will come when dreams become reality. I'll be the one I want.
Oh yeah, that's
Someday
right.
my day will come.
Oh yeah.
It's a tiring path we travel through. Each step I take, Lord, I'm sitting back too. We all have roles in life to play, and I'll play a good one someday.
That's where you want that authenticity. That's what the subject of my book is about. That's what I get after on this. My book, Through Lines, about the 9 personality types that comprise the human race. We each have one. We're born with it and we die with it. And the challenge is in between those events, are we living in accordance with it, or are we making choices that are discordant with it? And that's what he's talking about. Someday he'll be who he wants to be. And that's exactly what the book is about. It's like to find out who you are and live that way. And I love how this is being depicted in the song. Someday he'll be, and he'll say, what do you say? Say just what, like, not what he's thinking, because that could be a very bad thing. But all right, let's see where else George goes with this.
Someday my day will come.
Oh, it's peaceful when you're that way.
And I'll hold true love right in my hand. I'll reach the pretty rainbow's end. My cup will overflow. Someday my day will come. I'll watch my ship as it comes in. My castles won't be made sad.
No.
Someday my day will come. I'll hold true love right in my hand. Someday my day will come.
Interesting ending there. All right. In my previous place that I lived before I moved down here to the Jersey Shore with my girlfriend Sean, I had a loft where I did my Pilates and sometimes yoga, but generally I did yoga outside, summer or winter, however cold or hot, it didn't matter. I had a place by the pond where I did my yoga, but I did my Pilates, my abs work in my loft. And on the wall, I had a saying that one of the Dalai Lamas had said that, and the saying, and it was this: there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. And I remind myself of that a lot, simply because if we're living in accordance with who we are on the inside, assuming it's one of the 7 good traits, there are 2 personality types that I write about in my book that are not good personality types. One is a taker, and the other is a narcissist. And I define narcissist a bit differently than the American Medical Association or the Psychiatric Association defines it, but we're pretty close in it. But if you know that you are a certain personality type, it will help guide you in your decisions, because there are a lot of things in this world, occupations or relationships, for example, that'll be discordant with your personality type, and you'll start to have inner conflict, and you won't be peaceful or tranquil, and you won't even know how to get to it. You'll think it's on the outside. The joy and happiness is on the outside, and it's going to bring it to you. But that's the reverse order in ways. I mean, there is a symbiosis between the two, but you want what you've structured in your outside world to be consistent with what's on your inside world, and not by bullying or badgering people into being how you want them to be, because that's egotistical, prideful, and will just be painful for other people, and you'll always have to wage that fight. But in this song, it started out, one day I'll be basically the version of the man that I want to be, and then I'll have love, and then all this. And that is right. Like, if the thing is, if the version of who you are is a bad version, like a bad personality type, if you will, then you're not going to be happy. The 2 types of people that I depict in my book, narcissist and taker, they cannot be happy for the most part. Momentary, but they tend to be in many ways devoid of feeling for others. So there's a disconnect between the outside world and how they live and who they are. But for the others, they can have that happiness, that symbiosis between what's on the inside and the people that they're with in life. So GW, you got me going on this one. This was good, but like toward the end of the song, he was saying it was more an idea that on the outside, the happiness will start to be mailed in, coming into me. And it's like, no, even in crappy circumstances, and they are abundant, even when you're living consistently with who you are, how you were made from birth, even when you're living consistently with that, there are going to be challenges. But that's where you can still be joyful in situations, not because they suck, but because you can be in control of how you react. There is nothing that says when something goes wrong in your life that you have to be miserable, angry, freaking out, or whatever. And you don't want to be heartless and sedate all the time either. You're a human being. You're going to have a range of emotions, and you want to experience a lot of them. But when we make it a habit, some of us get addicted to anger, for example. Some of us get addicted to talking. Like, I think that's our greatest addiction, actually, among people, is talking, speaking. I want to be heard. And I can tell you, when I became a lot more peaceful, it was about 25 years ago when I realized that even when I'm right, my opinion is of no great significance. And and I know I started to become a much better listener at that point. And then I found that my relationships with people were so much better because I wasn't doing that New Jersey knee jerk, give me a quarter of an inch and that's my turn to talk, keep going, going, going. And I dialed it back and I became a very, very good listener. And I got to understand other people's journeys of life that they were going on. And I, just had very good, validating relationships and still do with many of the people in my life. And it all started with the recognition of one kind of like who I was, how I wanted to be, and then finding that way. And I did. And life is still hard. And there are lots of things that go wrong. But the one thing that people and the world can't dictate to me is how I respond to the horseshit that goes on. Yeah, that's just pretty much that simple. So songs like this is what traditional does, people. It's about life. There's so much about life that you can relate to. And it goes at this tempo, and you've got the pedal steel that comes in that sings its own words, basically. And you feel it differently. The tempo in this was made for you to be able to put your life into it or to just extract meaning from it and to see, yeah, does that make sense to me? Or do I have to tweak what was in the song and it'll fit me? So they're almost, in ways, life lessons. So GW, I'm going to rate this one. George could sing a ballad with the best of them. I got to go with the number that I'm going to get blasted for on this, but the number that popped into my head was an 8.9. A Montauk Ed, Jeff Cather, Steve Swaggart special. And if I remember the name of Steve Swaggart, he's a cop, a canine officer up in Minnesota. If I remember the name of his dog, I'd have thrown the dog's name in there too. So anyhow, there you go. GW, George Woodruff. Thank you for this request, my friend. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country and try to get back to being yourself or get there in the first place. You'll be a lot more peaceful.
I'll watch my ship as it comes